activism need to be about keeping these commandments.
This is not what I expected out of them.
The true Bible, the book of our fathers.
Right. The Most High has given us guidance on what we need to do.
It's also Eli.
It's also Nahshon.
Also Ezekiel.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 7. For what nation is there so great, who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?
So we took advantage of that. So what we did was that we carried our culture and we would have our history, we would have our written records with us. It's basically saying in verse 8 that these are our statutes. And so you have people sitting there talking about we're a fractured nation. I mean, we're a fractured people. No, that's not the case at all. This proves not only that, but it tells us that we ourselves are a nation. We are a nation. You know, they bamboozled us. They call us, you know, all out of our names. They call us all various types of people. But the mere fact that they're hating on us, you know, that we're the children of God, we're the blessed of the earth, we're the salt of the earth, and they struggle with that because they know that now it's time, you know, is at hand, and things are changing. So the hatred is really bubbling in the earth, and the detractors there on every front. And we'll see a couple of things. I want to maybe touch on one of them. I guess. Let's do one. I might get them out of order, but just work with me on one. Let me show you this. Let me say this. There are detractors and haters, and there's a list of them. We can go into Psalms 83 if we want to. Let's go into Psalms 83. Let's identify them. Let's put them up on what's that thing you call when the police have you and they put you on the board? You put you up on
mug shot.
Let's put the mug shots up.
Right.
Let's put the mug shots up. Let's put them up. Start at verse 2, 83 verse 2.
Psalms chapter 83 and verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
You got haters and detractors out there, Israel. You're gonna have those. It's embellished into the oppression. It's all, but it's schisms. It's a situation that when you really look at it, it's actually fractured. But they use different mechanisms to oppress us or to be able to sit there and tell us what we can do, what we can't do. But there's a slight rise in Israel that's coming up out of the earth, and we're starting to turn, and you can see that the people are breaking from the norm. And they're doing things that they normally don't do. And the opportunities that they're having, they're taking really advantage of them, of these opportunities that they have. And now they realize that if we let them do this, they can begin to take over more of the things that we're trying to, that was always given to us. After we oppressed them, after we withheld them for all these years, after we spent billions of dollars, when we get into that concentrated poverty, you'll see that how they spent billions of dollars in the early 1900s. You know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. But we all know it's not anything hid, but what we just want to do is make an announcement to our people tonight about it as well, again. So, let's do this. Did
you want to keep reading or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Psalms chapter 83 and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So that proves they know that we are a nation, right? They said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. Let's cut these great people off. They know. So there's no confusion there. Read on.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon, and Amalek and Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah.
So that's the mug shot. That's the mug shot. That's them right there. So what they done, I'll give you an example. So there's a lot that how the haters sit there and they'll hate to the point where they can get you killed. They can get you killed. They really can. If you would, we'll go there. Pull up the one with Deion Sanders. Pull him up. Just pull him up. We'll go there. We'll go there right now. Let's go there. So this is let me set it up. This is a still image. It's a still image at a press conference. For all you don't know or may know or don't care to know, that's fine. But here's a man that came up. His career was in football. He came by way of Florida State, and he built a resume for himself. He played so well at the game. He's in the Hall of Fame now today. I know I'm not doing him no justice, but the mere fact that he had to work his way up through high school coaching, he made his way up through. He had to go to black colleges. He went. I think it was at Jackson. HBCU. Yep. Mm-hmm. He went there and he coached there, and but everywhere he was going, he was winning. Mm-hmm. But the fact that when they got him onto the Division I level, where I think it's something like 112 universities and schools or something being Division I. It's not that many of them. Yeah. They're being Division I. Colorado's in the Division I, right? Right. So they made Deion Sanders their head coach, and so when he got there and as a head coach, he's turning the game around. He's turning around such, as I was talking earlier, as Israel began to rise a little bit. And our greatness began to peak in different places and shine a little light over here, a little light over there on our people. You can clearly see that he's doing it. He can do what it is. He can coach. Let me just make it plain. He can coach, and they withheld this man's talents. Not that they didn't, but when he got the opportunity, they realized he's a threat to the whole Division I. Now he's a threat to all the coaches. All the other coaches are talking about him. All the other coaches been making $9, $10, $14 million a year are talking about Deion Sanders. I think it's pay. I might be wrong about his pay. I ain't gonna mention his pay, but he's nowhere close to their pay that they're making. But they're all starting to talk about what he's doing because he's changing the game. Let's see how much love they have for him. Let it play.
And listen, more people need to speak out about this, man. This is absolutely devastating. And it's sad that this is still going on, man, at this level, bro. They're so upset that this man would dare come in and threaten their little good old boy system. They're so upset that they would rally together, something that you haven't heard of in a few years, even though it happens. But Deion is a real threat. And so they rallied all of the groups, and they rallied all of the shuckers and jivers. Guys like Jason Whitlocks of the world, the Rob Parkers of the world, all these guys.
Pause right there. That's what Bishop Nathaniel was on Jason Whitlock's show. Y'all know that, right? We know that. That's who that is. But right. Jason, he's been called a hater at this moment. I mean, Whitlock is. Whitlock do be hating, though. He be hating. Right. Whitlock hate on you, boy. I ain't kidding. So he hating on Deion. He said Deion ain't out there for he ain't out there for the word of God. He out there to get money for him and his sons. So Whitlock kind of goes in and rough him up and stuff like that. But Whitlock been like that. He been hating on his people. You know what I mean? Right. He always had a little hatred there, though. But go ahead, play on.
Right? And they're using these guys to try to tear this man down and break this man's spirit, and break his will, and break his soul, and break his heart, man.
So the mere fact that he's telling it like it is, he just got into Division I. This is his first year, right? They trying to run his ass out now. They want him gone. They want him gone. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you said before earlier. Mm-hmm. When he was a player, I mean, on the subservient side, entertaining Esau, they loved him. Prime time,
prime
all
time.
That. But now he's in a more authoritative position where he can, show men how to be men.
Exactly.
And really groom them up.
Good point.
The right way. Now he's a threat because he's not doing it like you said the old school way, wherever the case may be. He don't look like every other coach in that division.
Right.
And that's the issue.
I'm glad you brought that point. He that's what he done. He broke the mold.
Yes, sir.
And how they doing things. He doing things differently. He's telling the kids, if you come to me, you hear these things out here. They say, if you come to my school, he said, you come and get with me. He said, I can get you where you're trying to be to. Right. Get to. Not that these kids can't go to these other schools and get that, but what he's doing, he's empowering them to be what they are, and they don't have to coon. Right. You know what I mean? They don't have to coon at Alabama. Right. I just called some of them out. They ain't got to coon at LSU. They don't have to do that. But with him, they can be who they are. You know, he can speak well to their mama, and they know he's relatable. And so now you have all these kids across the country want to follow his program.
And another thing too, like it's all carnal. It's all we all understand. It's all
we
carnal.
get it. Yeah.
But the thing about it, like other thing too, Cat, is we look at the college sports. It's all about recruitment. It's all about having not like you said Alabama. You know, certain schools with coach with Prime. He's bringing that to him because they already established who he is. He know, look, I've done it. I didn't just coach, but I've done it, and that's what's turning that thing around too. Because they don't have any, they basically don't have an advantage anymore. So that's what they are. That's what they're attacking the brother for.
Right. So there's going to be it's a sports announcer. I think he's an Edomite, but the mere fact that he's going to talk about what they're doing to Deion Sanders. So he put this out there, and so this young man that's talking now, he's saying he thanked that man. He said, I thank you. He said, we would never known if you hadn't never told us. He said, we would have never known what they was trying to do to Deion. So this is what they get ready to do to Deion. Let it play.
Bothers me, bro. That bothers me. I'm going to play it again so y'all can hear the truth tonight.
I have a lot of thoughts. I think that let's start with this premise. There are fans and players and media that don't like what's going on in Colorado. They don't like the hype surrounding Colorado. Just like there were people that didn't like the hype surrounding Tim Tebow. Okay? But the group that dislikes it the most is opposing coaches. And I talked to these guys off the record, they despise it.
Damn.
They hate it. They hate the attention that Colorado is getting. They hate the fact that they know it's not going anywhere. They hate the fact that they know that this guy is going to be able to recruit at the top end of college football. They hate that 60 Minutes was there and that every show was there and that it's Deion all the time, everywhere. They hate it. And that's what you saw from Dan Lanning.
Is that it?
Is
that how far did we say we're going to let it play? That's it? Okay, thanks. So clearly we can see that there's haters and detractors out there, and that's what we're talking about, is that there's a hatred even for him. He's rising up in his craft, his talent, his greatness. He's rising up at that level. Hope he gets his mind right. But the mere fact that he's out there and he's doing a job, just doing a job that was asking him to do, he's turned the whole college programs upside down. Mm-hmm. They're literally afraid of him. They despise him, it was said.
Right.
They hate him. It's coming from the coaches. They making $8-9 million. What's the problem? What can he do? What can this Deion Sanders do? He's getting ready to change the narrative, and they want him out of that sport. And that's what I'm talking about. You have our people that's beginning to, or you can see us starting to do little small things, and they'll turn around and they'll realize, because the hatred is real, y'all. It is so real. It's incredible, and we see it. They embarrassed him. I think there was a story that came out that was talking about it. And when you hear a lot of stories like that. They embarrassed him last week, and he kind of pushed it back on him. He told him, I think one of the stories they said that he told me, well, you're gonna get me, you better get me now. Because he basically saying, because I'm going to have all the kids I want, and you can get the leftovers. But they hate him. And that's the hatred that's going on out there among our people on many, many levels. The hatred is real. There's no doubt about it. And let's continue on. Let's give me Luke 1:71. Let's talk more about the hate. We're going to get to the detractors and all that, but we're still dealing with the hate. There's a lot of haters out there. Matter of fact, let's do this. Put the definition of detractor up, if you don't mind. I don't know if I sent the one hater, but they both about the same.
Detractor. Is a noun. A person who disparages someone or something.
Hit the drop down box over there. Yeah, hit that. There you go. Let's look at them. These are detractors. Let's see if we can find one.
You have critic, disparager.
Attacker. They're attacking Deion Sanders. They're attacking him. They're attackers. They're critics. What is he doing wrong?
Belittler.
belittling him, they want him out. They don't like him.
Slander.
They talking about one of the things that I heard also, they was getting on him about because, obviously you seen in the picture he had his shades on. They said that when he come into the room, he need to take his shades and hats off.
Right.
Take his hat off. They getting on him talking about, you come in here and stuff like that.
And that was his own people.
Yeah. They give him a hard time.
Nitpicker.
Nigga, you say what?
No, nitpicker. Talking about his shades, they just picking on him for any little thing.
Yeah, they want something on him. They're trying to find something on him.
Let's talk about how he treating these kids. These kids is playing hard for him for a reason because they're not. He's not treating the kids just like they're just some type of object or go out there and make a play for me, nigga. Whatever the case may be. He's not treating them like that. He actually showing love towards these kids, so they go out there and they play their hearts out for him. Let's talk about that instead of nitpicking on his shades or whatever the case may be. I'll leave that alone.
Those are the detractors. They're out there just like the haters. They're out there too. So let's go to Luke, chapter 1. Did I say 71? I think it's.
You want to get straight to it?
What's before that? I'm trying
68 or
68. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's do that.
Luke chapter 1 and verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people.
Read on.
And have raised up an horn of salvation for us.
For us. For Christ is for us. Read on.
In the house of his servant David.
Read.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
It's always been us. We always had a divine relationship with the Most High. We always been the children of God. No confusion. Edify yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a hand like Deacon Laba say. Give yourself a hand. Read on.
That we.
That who?
That we.
That who?
That we should be saved from our enemies.
From all the detractors and all the haters. That's the point. I'm telling you, that spirit ain't going nowhere. You're going to have to get delivered through that, Israel. So we're saying just be mindful and understand your greatness. Understand that these things is going to come. And just like you said, when you wake up, one of the elders was talking about, he said, when you wake up, what kind of hate is it going to be today? Because it's coming for you. Right. It's coming for you. I'm telling you, it's not going to miss you. It's coming for you. You could be trying to get gas or something like that. I'm telling you, it's coming. So just be wise to it and see those crafty moves that the enemy is making. Just like they said, and we was in Psalms 83, it said that, what can we do about stopping them from being a nation? That's the same thing they do on many levels with us every day. Right. That's what they try to do. They try to stop us. But go ahead.
No, I see those two words, slanderer, defamer.
Can we look them up? Just touch them. I think we can look them up. You want to touch on them a little more?
No, I'm going to bring a scripture.
Okay. All right.
Psalms 50. Let's get that one. Psalms 50. Because, like you said, the hate is real, Cap.
Yeah, the hate is real, bro.
They coming for our people. Give me Psalms 50 and 16.
16, okay.
They would jump down. We don't have to read all this.
No, you read it. That's fine.
Psalms chapter 50 and verse 16. But unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
So the Lord is saying, what do the so-called white man or Esau, according to the Bible, have to do to declare his statutes? They don't follow no law in this book, unless it benefits them, So he said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Read.
Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth.
Because the covenant, the first and the second covenant has always been for Israel. Right. Read on.
Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee.
So they like Bishop always say, they read the Bible, put your hand on the Bible in the courtroom,
right?
And then you throw it out, you cast it away. Yeah. Read on. That's them hating instructions. Read.
When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentedest with.
Jump down to 20. Just get to the point.
Verse 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
So this goes back to Jacob and Esau.
Right.
Today they're still slandering us. They're slandering us, and you look at the in the media. Okay, all the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are gangbangers, drug dealers. They don't take care of their kids. Okay, so they are slandering us because that's not true.
You touched on something. That was
what I'm saying. It ain't true that just the fact they trying to come for Deion. They don't think a black man can be in that position. Okay, when they know he can, but that's that slander.
Right,
You see what I'm saying?
right. That's that slander. When he started to succeed in it, as he began to succeed, they're like, "Oh shoot, he looked like he coming for me."
And they say, "Hey, so that's gonna open up a can of worms because you're gonna have other brothers that these other people that's into that life, they're gonna be attracted to."
I listened to that guy that brought that story forth. I listened to it more. He had more that he had to say. I just kind of carved out that part that they was hating on Deion. But he goes on to make a statement in there. He's saying that you never have coaches come together because they all, have to protect their own interests for their own team because they're getting paid by the university, right? But he was saying that with Deion, they come together basically trying to say how the coaches asking them how can we beat them? How can we beat them? They said coaches don't normally talk about other teams like that. They say you have things that people actually you played them in the playoff last year. What was they like? You know what I mean? But they saying, he said on the tape, he said
they come together.
He said the coaches, that the hate coming from the coaches.
They trying to come together to stop, Deion from coming up. Like I said, that's all carnal stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's also, we just speaking on the hate that they have for us as a
that's
people.
All that's going.
That's what we talking about.
Yes.
The problem is that they're threatened by his
presence.
his potential to take their spot, and what he's doing, he'll show people and be an example to other black men that they can do that as well and take his spot. And equating that back to the truth, they'll say they'll hate on us or they're threatened by us because they see what we're capable of when we go out there on the streets, when we go out there and we teach on YouTube and teach on all these different avenues. They're threatened by our presence and what we can do and what we can accomplish. No, we got to put a stop to these. I don't want we got to put a stop to these niggas.
You know what hurt them more than anything when we can roll through the projects deep as we roll through the project, and you see all our people, all the men and the sisters applauding us. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what they scared of.
Putting smiles on their face.
Right.
That thing like sticking a knife in them.
Yeah.
But but here's the thing: we're going in. It's Chicago. It's Baltimore. It's Memphis. There's
the rough of the rough.
The rough. I'm telling you, this is not. This is not a. I'm telling you, these are rough places.
Please don't even go in there.
Detroit. Come on.
And our people, and it puts a smile on our people's face.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what hurt them more than anything.
They put a smile on their face. Why? Because they see hope. And that's what they threaten. They scared of that thing.
That's it.
We've been beating these people down for so long, and now all of a sudden y'all going to come through and try to give them hope? How dare you? How dare y'all do that? Nah.
Oh boy, you leading me you leading us into the right segment.
That's where we need to go. How dare you? They upset with that thing. I'm glad you threatened by it. Right. I'm glad you threatened by that thing. And we're going to continue to uplift our people. We're going to continue to build up our people. We're going to continue to make sure our men know that they're kings and that they're gods and that our women are princesses. We're going to continue to build up our families in the way that God intended for us to be.
Right, because that's what we was reading earlier, that the people see and declare that surely this is a great nation and a wise and understanding people. Let's go back to Luke and read 71 again. That's the point. We'll move on. Luke 1:71.
Luke chapter 1 and verse 71. That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us.
From all the haters and detractors. Those that despise what we're doing, those that revile against us, those that, come against us, attack us, and even there's a word up there that we should say, censor us, because there's always an Israelite blackout somewhere. Right. They keep us in a blackout. Right. They don't make no doggone sense. And they always trying to defame us, And those are what we're having to deal with. And we, on many levels, in our own personal life, having to deal with things like that ourselves.